I'd like to thank you for stopping by and taking a moment to take a look at my profile. If you're here, it means that you're most likely looking to improve your English. And if you're here, that means you've tried other teachers, other methods, and other programs out there, and you're looking for something different, something better, maybe even something outside the box. My name is Chip again, and I'm not your average teacher. I'm more of a coach. I've been a coach for over 30 years now. And for those 30 years, I've been coaching people just like you to become successful, not only in speaking English, but in many areas of their life. As a holistic life, business, and peak performance coach, I've done a lot of things in coaching over the last 30 years. And what I've decided to do 16 years ago, when I saw what was happening in the industry and around the world with English, I decided to see if I can help people in this industry as well. Now, what you're looking at right now is the first slide in a presentation that I'm going to be giving you. Now, I want you to consider this presentation your first lesson with me, if you should decide to follow through with this presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to be using new words, new idioms, new expressions that you may not be used to. I'm going to give you this information as if we're in a lesson together. The only difference is I'm going to be doing most of the talking, and in this lesson, you're going to be mostly listening because it's not a two-way conversation, it's a one-way video. But in this video, I'm also going to explain to you how I do what I do, why I do what I do, what the method is, and how it can benefit you so that at the end of this video, you can make a decision whether or not this program will be for you. Because you see, even though I produce and my methods produce some pretty amazing results, this program is not for everyone. There are some people out there that don't like to think outside the box. There are some people out there that want to study the traditional way. For those people, I applaud your determination and your dedication to the old ways. But to the people that are looking to get dramatic results in a short period of time, this is what I offer for you. So let's start. Now, keep in mind, this is going to last about 1 hour. I'll try to keep it as short as possible, but I want you to be prepared for that. Periodically throughout this presentation, I will take a small break and I will tell you, you can pause the video here, take a couple-minute break, get up, stretch, walk around, and come back. But I want you to understand, this is your first lesson with me. Okay, are we clear? Now let's get started. If you look on your screen right now, you'll see English Coaching with Chip. Now I've got my camera here, I've got my screen here, and I've got another screen here. So if you see me looking, this is what I'm looking at, just to make you aware. So English Coaching with Chip, I focus on 90 days. Now, if you look online, you're going to see a lot of 90-day programs as far as learning languages go. And in my research, what I found is a lot of these programs don't really know why the 90 days works. They just know it works. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, due to my research and my testing and all of the research that I've done, both online and offline in person, I understand exactly why this 90 days works. And my scientific approach is based in science, and I seriously mean this. It's based in physics, it's based in psychology, and it's based in neuroscience. I throw in and utilize a lot of hypnosis, a lot of NLP, and some technologies that I've developed over the years myself. Now let's get started. So this is slide number 1, and let's go ahead and skip on to slide number 2. Now again, you notice I'm just sliding through here. Again, if we're in a lesson together, I'm going to be using Miro. It's very easy for me to do. I can put my slides on there. I can write on it if need be. And I can also use my tab. And my tab will make it easy for me to be able to write rather than trying to be able to write with my mouse, which is not easy. So you'll get to see all of that. Now, what you see on the screen right now, my name, Chip Bridgman, and I am one of the most sought after English and business coaches on the planet. And I mean this seriously. And that's not according to me, that's according to my clients. Over the last 30 plus years in my coaching career, my clients put me far above any other coach I've ever worked with. And my clients have worked with a lot of coaches. And one thing that they can all say beyond a shadow of a doubt is I get results, dramatic results. Let's go to the next one. Again, my name is Chip. I'm the creator of quite a few learning technologies. Now, the reason why this is here is so that you can follow along with me. I know you're not used to this, and I'm going to tell you in our lesson, I don't want you to use subtitles, but right now I want you to follow along with me in case you're getting some new words, some new vocabulary, and I'll show you what to do with that a little bit later. So some of the technologies that I've developed, the nanosecond theory, single language theory, neurophysio language method, neurotransitional link methodology, whole mind imaging approach, the virtual neuroimmersion process. Now, these are just a few of the technologies that I've developed myself and I use with my clients and my students, just like you here. These are technologies and methods that can dramatically speed up your learning cycle by customizing your individual learning behavior based on neuroscience and psychology. I also created a results-based method, which is a method of learning that focuses the students' activities on results and not just time spent on the activity. I want you to get the result that you're looking for, but I have found ways that we can maximize your result, but minimize your time on task. Now, as you see here, this is a little bit about me right here. And as you can see, I circled this already. I'm from Texas. I moved to Southeast Asia from Texas. And currently, right now, I am in the Philippines. So if given a choice, I love doing this. Out on the range, on a horse, driving cattle, nothing like it. A lot of hard work, but it's also good times. But here in the Philippines, we can also enjoy much of nature. Beautiful waterways, beautiful jungles and rock formations. It's a wonderful place to be. And these are my TESOL certifications. This first one right here, this one certifies me as an ESL TESOL teacher. And this one right here is a teacher trainer, meaning I'm certified to train and certify other teachers so they can be TESOL certified as well. And this is one of my other businesses, and we'll talk about that some other time. A little bit more about me, just to give you some background. This is a screen capture that I took from my website that I'm still working on. I'm making it myself. And I've added some other things here just to give you a bird's eye view about me. This is me when I was working at the academy doing one of my group classes. And these are my 5 top programs that I'm working with online. I've got my influence program, my optimum trajectory or life planner program, my statesman brotherhood program, the vision book program, and my international business and personal development coaching program. And these are 5 of the most popular programs that I'm working on now, working with my clients. These are some of my professional certificates. This one right here is my PhD in philosophy. And these are mostly NLP and certificates that certify me as an NLP coach, NLP trainer, NLP master practitioner. And I have many, many, many business certifications over the years on management, like right here is one of them from Brian Tracy. And we won't go into all of that. Just rest assured, I've got 30 years experience doing this, 30 plus years experience. I know what I'm doing. And I'm one of the highly sought after coaches on the planet today. And you'll get to know that in a little bit. Down here on the right-hand corner, these are some of the companies that I am starting and or running and or trying to launch. I'm working on these. They're in one phase or another of development. This is my Statesman program, the book, the 2-volume set that I'm working on. This is the Optimum Trajectory program. And right here, you'll see some books that I've written over the years and a couple that I'm still working on and finalizing. So I want you to rest assured that if you're a busy professional, I understand where you're coming from. And it'll be hard pressed to find somebody that's a little bit busier than that guy, okay? So let's just keep that in mind. I don't mind. I understand, and I'll work with you and be understanding and patient, but you have to understand, when you're dealing with teachers, excuses may work, but when you're dealing with a coach like me, excuses don't fly, okay? So I want you to keep that in your mind, because as we're working together, we're both going to be expecting big things from you, and it's all about results, okay? Let's go on to the next page or slide. So my purpose, I want to help as many people as I can to live the life of their dreams through English fluency. Now, because I am a personal development coach and a business coach, I can help you in many areas of your life. But during our time together here, our primary focus is going to be on English, accelerated, not just accelerated, more like hyper learning. We're going to go beyond ultra learning into a whole new realm of learning. I'm here to provide you with actionable strategies and tactics that are unconventional. And what I mean by unconventional is I mean quite literally, it is outside the box, okay? So most of your thoughts are going to be right here inside the box. And like Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited to what you know or what you think you know. But your imagination is opened up to all of the possibilities, every possibility that you know, don't know, heard of, or never heard of. And that is outside the box. And I want you to understand that in order to get to where you want to go, getting outside of that box of what you think you know is definitely going to help you. These are strategies that you're going to be able to use in your language learning right now, not a month, a year, or 10 years from now. Right now, immediately, as you're learning them, you're going to also learn how to utilize them and put them to work for you. Now, many of my students, when they come to me, they're not making much money. In their countries, they may be a professional. Most of them are computer scientists or computer programmers, and they're making a low income by US standards. They're making a great income by their own country standards. But many of them are now earning $7,000 or more per month as a result of working with me. Not only do I help them with their language, not only do I help them with their presentation skills, but I also help them in depth with their, I guess you could say, resume and their interview skills as well. And this helps them to get the job that they're looking for, because everybody's got a dream. We have a dream of how we want to live our life. And I want to ask you a very serious question. If you're one of these professionals, how many $90,000 a year positions are you willing to let slip through your hands while you're wasting your time on ineffective methods of learning? And that's a serious question I want you to think of. Many of my students come to me because others have failed them. Other programs have not yielded the results that they were looking for. And time after time, interview after interview, they don't get that job. And they want that pattern to stop. And that's what I'm here for, to get you over that hump, because you're a professional. You know what you're doing. The only thing standing in the way is that proper presentation of your skills and your character and your language speaking ability. My methods will help you to speak English fluently, quickly, and with my FAST method, which stands for, it's an acronym. F is for fun, action-based, self-directed, and transformational. I will help you improve your pronunciation, build your vocabulary, and your recall. Now, many people say, I don't have a good memory. I can't remember. That's okay. I understand that. First off, I want you to understand your memory is perfect. And you can remember. Stop telling yourself that you can't, because that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's a part of that mindset I will help you with. So understand you can remember. The only problem is recall. The information's in there, you just don't know how to get to it. I am going to show you how to build those connections, strengthen those connections, so you can have instant, long-term, long-lasting recall of the things and the vocabulary that you're learning. I will show you exactly what to do every day to bring you closer to your goal, one step at a time. Success isn't something that just happens overnight. It's something that you repeatedly do day in and day out and form new habits called success. And doesn't matter what you're doing, speaking English is a perfect example. You do it the same exact way, and I will show you how. I will show you precisely what skills, tools, and resources that you will need to succeed, and I'll have you speaking naturally and confidently. Now, I call this, it's pretty simple, right? I mean, there's nothing complex here. We're not looking at rocket science stuff, but I call this the demonstrate you can help people by actually helping people method. And most people miss this. They talk a big game, say I can do this, that, and the other thing, but in the end, the results are missing. It's great to have rapport with a teacher or a mentor or a coach that you're working with. It's wonderful to have 30, 40, 50 lessons with them. But if you are not getting better after 30, 40, 50 lessons, if you are not ready to jump out of the nest and fly and soar on your own, something's not happening the way it should be. I'm not going to say there's something wrong, but things are not adding up the way that they could be. And I'll show you why in a moment. The persistent problem that most people are having is no matter how hard you try, no matter how many academies you attend, no matter how many teachers you work with, you just can't seem to succeed. Year after year, the same struggles, the same disappointments, the same persistent lack of positive results. And this plagues most people. And I'm going to show you exactly how to deal with that. The solution right here. With me as your English coach, we will focus on functional language, communication strategies, discourse markers, and conversation features. Together, we will also dive deep into paralinguistic language. This covers things like facial expressions, gestures, body language, and we're also going to dive deep in the prosodic features. This is just a fancy word for intonation, stress, rhythms, and I hate to say it, connected speech. Now, my opinion of connected speech is going to differ greatly compared to what you may have heard and read in a book. Most people in America and around the world do not use connected speech, and I'll explain how and why and when you can use connected speech. But understand this, connected speech almost never happens, especially in a business environment. And I'll explain that in detail. Now, right here is Dr. Stephen Krashen. Now, when I developed my version of the natural method, I did not know of Stephen Krashen. I read some books of some other people. I didn't like what I was reading, so I stopped listening and reading anything from any linguists. And had I read Stephen Krashen first, it would have given me maybe a leg up. I could have cut some of that research time down. But Stephen Krashen's idea of the natural method is a little bit different. Our methods are parallel to each other, but mine differ a lot because I use a lot of science. And I know how to pinpoint and predict your success, almost to the point where I can look at a calendar, watch your results, and I can point to the day that you will be at the level of your goal. Let's say you want to get to C1. I will be able to tell you what day you can do it if you follow the plan based on what I do and how I do it. But as you read here, the natural approach places less emphasis on what you hear right now, teacher dialogue or monologue, direct repetition, This is where you're repeating over and over and over and over. We don't need to do that. And I'll explain why on a neuroscientific level later. Formal questions and answers. That's where I'm asking you a question. You have to give me a canned response back. We don't do that. And it's going to place a lot less focus on accurate production of target language sentences. Now, this is a big one for everybody. Most of my students that come to me here are coming to me telling me that they want me to correct them when they're speaking. And I try to explain to them that is not necessary. And this is why. Now, it's not necessary because Stephen Kreshon has done this research. He knows that this focus on this accurate or perfect performance, and then every time you make a mistake, you want to stop. He understands this is detrimental. It's a negative aspect that will actually hold you back from your success. Also, from a neuroscientific standpoint, you are going to learn more from your mistakes than you're going to learn from just about any other method we're going to be using. Because those mistakes combined with the technologies, the neuroscience, and what we're doing are going to catapult you into success relatively quickly. The natural approach, there is an emphasis on exposure and input. And that's what you're getting right now. This is exposure. This is the input I want you to have. Now, some of you may be thinking, you're getting a little bit bored right about now. I'm talking too much. This is okay. And if that is the case for you, in a couple minutes, I'm going to tell you it's time to take a break. I should have told you 5 minutes ago, but I got lost. So when you are focused on that exposure, it doesn't matter where the exposure comes from or the input is coming from, as long as it's coming from a clear, accurate, and natural approach, like a native, if you will. But it doesn't necessarily always have to be a native, as long as they sound clear, confident, and they have American pronunciation. All right, so let's go right here. So the desired outcome, what you're looking for. I believe this is the world's best method for learning. Fluency is your goal. And quite simply, fluency, according to this and what they describe online, the actual meaning, is the flow of efficiency with which you express your ideas, particularly when speaking. A few grammar mistakes may appear here and there, but it's easy to understand and shows how comfortable you are with the language. And if you listen to any native speaking, me included, you're going to hear that we make mistakes throughout, but nobody ever jumps up and down and says, whoa, wait a minute, you made a mistake, you need to do this again. Because quite honestly, we as Americans and English speakers, we don't care if you make a mistake or not. Only thing we care about is if you're understandable and if we can get the idea of what you're talking about. That's it. Everything else, water under the bridge. Your desired outcome is what I'm here for. You want to speak English confidently, clearly, fluently in 90 days or less. And I want to make that happen for you. I'm going to give you what you need, the tools, skills, and resources. And here's the game plan. This is an all-inclusive, step-by-step action plan. If you follow the plan, do the work, show up for your coaching, you will succeed. The only unknown variable in this plan is you. I don't know you. I don't know if you can do the work. I don't know if you're going to stay focused. I don't know if you're going to do what it takes to succeed. Now with that, let's take a small break. I want you to get up, walk around for a couple minutes, pause the video, of course, because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on talking. But I want you to go ahead, pause the video, get up, walk around, get some water, grab an apple, relax, and then come back in a few minutes and sit down, and we'll pick up right here where we left off. Okay, so I'm assuming that you paused the video because I'm going to keep going. So if you didn't pause the video, this transition is going to seem silly. But let's say you pause the video. Welcome back. Now let's get on with the rest of this. Let's talk a little bit about this game plan. Now, if you notice here, I've got some pictures on the screen. These pictures are the actual pages of your workbook, the pages that you will be going through that will guide you, that will help you, that will show you how to track and what you need to do to produce the results that you're looking for from point A to point Z and everything in between. The videos that you might be recommended to watch, the videos that you are requested and expected to watch, how to apply purposeful play, how to master this information. This right here, this is for your vocabulary. Right here is your time management program. Here is helping you to understand the difference between mastery and forgetting. And I want you to focus on the mastery results. This is your daily activity tracker. This is going to explain to you about how to do the role models. And right here is one of the most important pages, and we'll talk about this in a minute. This is your notebook page. Here's your 90-day game plan. You're going to take 3 classes with me a week, and you're going to watch the video because you're going to record those classes on your off days. Here are your daily targets or your monthly targets, your 90-day targets. We'll break those down. Here is how the Venn diagram fits into this whole production, your daily activities and everything. And these are just some of the pages that you can expect that you'll be using that will guide you. Now, the lesson plan itself. Over the years, I've had many people ask me about the lesson plan. What's the lesson plan? What are we going to cover? What are we going to do? Well, it's kind of difficult to come up with a lesson plan, especially for this type of learning, because many students will come to the class and I've got a solid lesson plan ready to go, but within 5 minutes, we swing off wildly into another direction. So the lesson plan, right out the window. So I decided I need a lesson plan that is structured, that allows for this freedom. And this is what I came up with. So what I want you to do is every single lesson, I want you to have a clean page, print it, put it on your tab, do something with it. So you've got a clean page that you can write on when we start. Now here you can write your notes, because if you're doing your homework, you are going to have a lot to talk to me about. I'm trying to do this with my mouse. Sorry about that. That was not very good. So now you've got your notes. And I want you to write your notes there. And I want you to keep track of your notes. Now, not only are you going to be writing notes, keeping up, I'm going to try to find this page on my tab really quick. So excuse me. So you're going to be writing on your notes the things that you would like to say, the things that you would like to cover. In addition to that, you're also going to be writing on your notes some of the things that I may be saying to you, some of the things that I may be sharing with you. So I want you to put that there. Now, if you notice on your notes, we're going to start talking right about, one moment, here. And then we're going to talk for about 5 minutes right there. And you can see that right there, right? Intro in the task, 5 minutes. And then after that, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back from the break and you're going to continue. We're going to talk about the task debrief. We're going to discuss the task experience. What did you learn? How did this impact you? And then as you see right there, we're going to take another break for about 2-3 minutes. We'll come back. And during this section right here, you may be teaching me something, or I may be teaching something to you, or we may have a deeper discussion. We'll talk here and explain what's going on. We'll take another break. When we come back from the break, you're going to give me some of your feedback about the lesson. I'm going to check your comprehension, see how much of it that you understand, see how deep you can go on this topic. And then I'm going to recap. I'm going to give you my assessment. And if I feel like you need some new homework, some additional homework, I'll assign that there. I'll try to end the class right about here. So this way you're not stuck in your chair for 60 minutes straight. But you should be getting up and walking around during these breaks. And I'll try to do this. And this is a part of the HIIT method. The same method if you're going to the gym. High intensity interval training. Now over here on the vocabulary side of things, this is where you will write your vocabulary. I will tell you words that you're missing. You're going to hear new words, and these are words you may need to work on. If you need more, all you do is add a line and write another word. You can add a line, write another word, just like this. And this will be your vocabulary from our lesson. And at the end of the lesson, as usual, if you enjoyed the lesson, I encourage you to leave a comment so other people can share in your success, share in your journey, and hear what you have to say and what you think about the lesson. And if you'd like, just leave a couple badges so people can see that you enjoyed your time and your lesson. This is the roadmap, okay? Now, I believe a great coach is like having a living roadmap at your side. Now, if you're about to enter into new and uncharted territory, it's probably best to have a roadmap nearby, or at least at your side. And this is what I'm talking about here. So as far as roadmaps go, let me go ahead and explain this to you. Just grab my tab really quick. With most other programs, what I found is these people want to help. It's a business and this is what they're doing. But let's say you want to get here. This is your goal. We'll call this C1 for now, okay? So you want to be at level C1 in English. Now, let's say your current situation, whoever you're working with, thinks you may be right here. So they're going to give you directions to go down here, go here, come down here, maybe cross over here, come over to here, go over there, come over here, come down here, maybe go over to here, come over there. And as you can see, this is pretty detailed, pretty convoluted. Now, they're giving you good instructions. But what if you are actually in reality over here? Let me put this to you another way. Let's say you have GPS in your car, okay? And the GPS in your car is telling you to leave where you're at, go straight, make a left, go about maybe 100 meters, make a right. In 2 kilometers, you're going to make a left, and so on and so forth. And that's good. You're going to follow your GPS. But what if you are here and your GPS is giving you these directions? Obviously, you're not going to end up in the right place. That's where my coaching comes in. I accurately determine where you are. I accurately determine where it is that you want to go. And together we plot a course that will get you to where you want to be as quickly as possible. And that is real. And I see this time and time again. I've been doing this for 16 years. And in those 16 years, I see this happen many, many times. And here's what the problem is. Here's the alternative to my program. And this is what's out there in the world today. Now, you and I have both done this. We've both bought the same stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You buy something, you see it online, you say, I want to buy this. So let's say in this case, we want to buy this beautiful cutting board. And we buy it and it just kind of works, but not really, but sort of. So we bought this and we got this. And as you can see, there's a big difference there. And that's supposed to be acceptable. In fact, we both know it has become the norm. Almost competent has become the new good. It doesn't have to be that way, not anymore. People just like you and me, just like us, are becoming more and more frustrated with the almost competent business model and becoming increasingly desperate for someone that will provide the solution that we're looking for. And that is the alternative to what I'm doing. I'm going to be offering you this and delivering on it. And what you see out there many times, you think you're getting this. And some of these programs look great. They've got a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of tests for you to take, a lot of certifications that you can sign up for. However, in the end, you end up with zero or almost zero results, just like this. Almost competent is embarrassingly the new norm, and I want to change that. Now, you might be wondering, are you going to be a good fit for my program? My best clients. Now, keep in mind, as much as I would like to, I can't help everyone, and I'm always looking for my best clients. Some people are just not up to the challenge, and there's nothing I can do about that. Who works best with me? People that are driven, people that are open-minded, and people that are coachable. And these are the type of students that I'm looking for. And if this describes you, then you may be just perfect for my program. Why now? I personally believe there's no time like the present. Now is the best time to start. No matter what it is you want to do, now is the best time for you to get going on it. I think speed in learning is the key to success. The slower you go, the worse the results are. Think about it this way. It's like watching a movie on super slow motion, and you can't tell what they're doing. Imagine watching a whole movie like that. That would drive you crazy. I come in and say, yo, what are you watching? You're like, I got no idea. It's going so slow, I can't keep up. Because your mind is racing, thinking about all these other things. But when you're going fast and you add speed to the equation, what happens is your brain stays myopically focused on what you're doing. Now, I want to ask you a question. And please understand, I want you to answer this question. Answer the question, write it down, and send it to me in a text or email on the system. But I'm more than a little bit curious about you. Why do you think now is time for you to finally start to succeed in your English fluency? Why do you think now is a good time for you? So write that answer down. And right now is a good time for you to take another break. I want you to stand up, walk around, get a water, do something, but take a break, walk away. Me, again, I'm going to keep on talking. I'm not going to take a break. Then I want you just, of course, pause the video. I forgot to say that. Sorry. Pause the video, then get up and walk around, then come back. And I'll be right here and we'll pick up where you left off. But be sure to think about this answer. Why do you think now is a good time? And should you decide to work with me, I want you to send me the answer to that question in your correspondence or email to me. Let's go on to the next slide. So I'm assuming you left and you came back, okay? So take a break and then come back. So many times people always want to know who's my competition and am I watching my competition? I don't want to seem arrogant or sound arrogant, but I want you to understand, I don't really think I've got competition. Because it doesn't really matter what company you think of. They're not even close to producing the same results that my students are producing. They're achieving these results every single day. I do have some students that don't accomplish this in 90 days, but that's because they're not following the program. Some of them say, I'm not in a hurry. They take one lesson a week. Some of them say, I love to read, so I'm not going to stop reading. Some of them say, you know, I don't really have a lot of people to talk to and I don't like watching TV, so they don't talk as much as they should and they don't listen as much as they should. But they keep signing up for lessons with me because of the conversation, because they can talk and we can have conversation and they can speak English with me. That's fine. That's their decision. But if you're here to learn as quickly as possible, I'm going to ask that you follow all of the directions. But if you're one of those people that just wants to go a little bit slower, that's fine too. I've got, well, not including my clients from Russia right now because they're no longer here because of everything that's happening in Europe. But my other students from other countries. I've got about 7 or 8 students, 7 students that have been with me for over 2 years. Why are they still with me? They're speaking English very, very well. They're doing well, but some of them are learning business strategies, hypnotic strategies. They're learning persuasion strategies. They're learning other things like marketing, for example. With marketing, I could do this all day long, every day, all year long, talking about and teaching neuroscience and marketing. That's why they're still here. They want that English conversation on a very high level that they don't get in their everyday life. But for the majority of my students, they're here for 60 days, 90 days, and then they're out the door doing their thing. And that's what I want for you. I want you to get the success that you're looking for. Now, my learning model is quite simple, okay? First off, I want it to be self-directed. I'm going to direct you, I'm going to guide you, but how you apply this, how we put together the game plan, and then I turn you loose, it's only 1 hour that you're spending with me in a day. You've got another 23 hours to go, and what you're doing with those 23 hours, that's up to you. And I want you to understand that this is not a dictatorship. I'm not going to order you around and tell you to go do something, but you do have to stay focused. You do have to keep your mind on the prize. And it's up to you how you apply. You'll have the steps. You'll know what to do every day, but how you do it, that's going to be self-directed. I want it to be interactive. In the beginning, I used VR glasses. I don't use those so much anymore. It's too cumbersome for the students, too difficult for some people to find and purchase. So I found better ways, easier ways to use the self-directed and interactive methods. You'll be interacting with some of the technologies that I talked about earlier, which you'll learn more about in our lessons, as well as interacting with me. I want it to be fun. If you're bored doing this, this is not going to be fun and it's not going to be effective. And I want you to be focused on results. I don't want you to be focused on only time spent on tasks. What results are you getting? And is it worth your time? That's what I want you to do. So this is the learning model. Now, these are some of my former clients. I've worked with top level executives in all of these companies, professors at Seoul University and at Penn State. And some of the professors I was working with at Penn State are geniuses in robotics and AI technology. It was amazing. And they were from other countries now working at Penn State that wanted to brush up on their language. Samsung, LG, Asus, you can see them all right here. And with Deloitte, BCG, and McKinsey, these are mostly their consultants that contacted me and want me to train with them. And with GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, some of their executives I've been teaching and working with on English in different parts of the world, as well as with Unilever. And over here, some of the leagues, I think these are the leagues, I'm not sure on the logos, but this represents some of the professional soccer players that I've taught over the years. Some of them were active, some of them were retired, but they were at one point in their life playing professional soccer. So that was kind of exciting, but I don't follow soccer, so it might be more exciting for you if you follow soccer, because you'll be able to tell who these people were. But I don't know, because it's not a sport that I follow very closely. The vision that I have for the future, not only for myself, but also for you, is to be the #1 go-to method and strategy for learning languages worldwide, to transform the people and teach them how to learn and change the world. This is what I want to do. And what you see here is the new virtual type of seminar. So thanks to COVID, rather than being in front of an audience of 2,000 to 3,000 people and everybody's here, you can still be in front of an audience of 2,000 to 3,000 people, and they're all connected from the comfort of their home, just like you are right now, on their computers. And this is the future. And this is what I want to do. These are some of the comments and compliments that I've gotten from some of my clients. I'm not going to go over this with you. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I do want you to take some time, pause the video, and read through these. These are good comments from some of my top students. And these are just a handful of the thousands and thousands of people that I was able to help and comments that I have from them. So this just walks you through that. And I just gave you a sample of 6. You can see more on my verbling page. You can see more on my other pages once those become available to you. But this just gives you an idea. This is not something I woke up yesterday and decided to do. This is something I put my time, my effort, and my energy into. And I wanted to make sure that it's the #1 program for you and people just like you. Okay? And in closing, the very next step for you at this point, schedule your initial strategy call with me and find out exactly how my method can work for you. And let's get started on that. With that, we are at the end. And we're at about 45 minutes, which will be about the length of our coaching session when we're together. We have some breaks. We have a little bit more fun in the class because we can joke around and interact with each other. But this gives you a bird's eye view, what I do, how I do it, who I am, and gives you an idea of whether or not you think you can work with me. With that in mind, I'm going to get out of your hair. And if you want an extra homework assignment, I want you to go through this video again. And I want you to listen closely. And I want you to pick out the new vocabulary, pick out the idioms, and pick out some things that maybe you learned in this video and write that down in your notebook. And this will help you to begin your learning progress with me today. Thank you for your time. You have a fantastic day. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you being here because you're here. That's the only reason I'm here. Thank you very much. And you have a fantastic day.